Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. I wanted to update some people. I had several people message me and comment different things, wanting to know about the live situation. So far they have lifted the restrictions off the channel. Everything is back to normal. I really think that this was done automatically by the system. A lot of these things, y'all, it's not individual people sitting there screening everything going on. They can't possibly do that. There's way too much on the internet. It's like PayPal. I've been trying to straighten out my PayPal. I've got some issues with it, not in the receiving money department or handling it. Moving it from PayPal to my personal checking account, it cost me quite a bit of money to do that. And I cannot get my bank account set up to where it does it in the free 1 to 3 days. And you cannot call and actually talk to a person. Can't do it. I have tried every different way, and I don't know how to go about remedying it. I've been fighting with them for about 2 or 3 weeks trying to figure out how to do it. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But this YouTube is similar the same way, the way it's run. They screen everything that happens live. And y'all, I get it. Like I said in the other video, they have no way of knowing what's going to happen on live, and they trying to protect people from seeing something gruesome that they don't want to see. And, you know, I mean, it's like seeing a fat person get naked on there. I don't want to see all that, you know, so screen it. I'm not going to fuss about it. So anyway, as far as I know, we will be live Friday afternoon. Tomorrow will be Thursday. I've got to go deliver some powder. We'll be out of pocket most all day. I have a video uploaded, or I'm waiting on Owler One Wild Garter to screen it. And it is a night vision binoculars. That video will be coming up in a day or so, so I don't know when they'll get that. They may or may not be a video Friday. We'll see. I'm going to put this one out. I've been out here grinding, cutting out knife blades. One of the things I wanted to address right now, I am currently caught up on Jonah knives, save one knife. I did agree to build one knife a little different for a fella. He wanted to handle a little bit different, so I'm going to do that because I am caught up, and I would not agree to that, everybody, if I still had a pile of orders. And that did move him to the end of the line, so just how it works. I am working on the Gideon blades. I have got a stack full of them. I think right now 3 of these are bought. And I'm going to try to get 2 of them made tonight. I probably will not get sheath and all, but if I can get the blades ground and a handle cut out for them, that'll be good. And right now I've got 2 of these Jonah blanks cut out, and I try to polish all this paint. Some of these saw blades come with some paint on the blades under the handle. It don't matter. Now when I go to patina in it, the rest of that'll come off, but I like it off for while I'm grinding. I can see what I'm doing. So I am working on knives. So that being said, I am at a place to where really right now, as far as orders go, I've got like 3 or 4 to build on order. If you're wanting a knife, get in. Now I do have several patch knives. I've got to build about 4 patch knives. I have not, you guys had asked about them. I've got to get them cut out. So I'm doing these in stages. Tried to finish all the Jonah knives, didn't do all the Gideon, and then I'll get to the patch knives. Nobody's rushed me, so there's no worry, but I'm just letting you know where they stand. You'll be getting them probably at the end of next week. So, well, I don't know. We're going to the mountains next week. That is another thing. I'm going to take the puppies to meet Miss Judy. She has claimed both puppies, wants them both. I'm going to meet her Monday. We're going to go up through, I don't know yet. Probably cross North Alabama into Georgia and then go up. I'm not a fan of tourist towns. However, we will probably wind up in Gatlinburg one day because we like to go not on the strip, But back in the back, there's a place called Craftsman's Road. And if you've never been there, you're not going to just happen by it unless you search for it. It's in Gatlinburg, but it's 2 or 3 streets over, back off around the curve, you know, backside the hill over there. But it is an awesome place. Alewife Pottery is over there, and we go and check them out and usually buy some of their pottery. I know it's weird for a potter to follow other potters, but we not those kind of people where, you know, if you do the same thing we do, we hate you. I got all the mad respect in the world for all these other great potters. I admire their artwork. I don't try to copy their work. Same way with knives. I see other people that make knives similar to this. I do not try to copy somebody else's knife. I want all my stuff original, my own design. I do the same thing with pottery, but we do like to go check out that stuff, and I like to admire and see what other knife makers are doing. I mean, it's that way with anything. Bow makers, whatever, you know, blacksmith. I admire all their work. Watch them work. It's awesome. So we will be in the Smoky Mountains somewhere throughout. I think we're going to get into Cherokee, probably Maggie Valley. I don't know exactly where also. If you're up that way, holler at us. I don't know. We're probably not going to do a lot of meeting and greeting people. We don't have time for that, but I am not, you know. If you just really, really, really want to, just holler at me if you can get up with me some way. We're going to be up that way, in other words. So that will be going on first of next week. There was something else I wanted to bring up and talk about. One thing, I broke the lid off my Yeti cup the other day, y'all. But I fixated it, but I did order me another one. I like that plastic handle that goes on there. I got the rest of my handle. It broke right off. But I drilled and tapped it, y'all, putting some cord on there so I could still use it. Oh, I had somebody ask a question here not long ago, or made the comment, I wish I could live the life that you live. You can. You probably can't drop and do it overnight. So what I thought I would do after I did this update is just talk to you a little about how I can do what I do. Most of you are well aware that I just throwed pottery down, like, okay, I can make knives and I'm gonna try it. For a lot of people, that takes a lot of gumption, we'll call it. I ain't gonna say what I thought about saying. Anyway, it takes a lot to make those decisions. Let me explain to you how I'm able to do that. We don't have no bills as far as stuff we've bought that we're making notes on. If I'm making a payment on something, it's got to be something that's going to really benefit me or make me money. Currently, right now, I want a boat, a larger boat. I've mentioned this, but I'm not fixing to go jump and buy, but I could go sign my name and pull home tomorrow any brand new boat I wanted. I promise you I could. But I had an old man tell me one time, he really wasn't an old man, he was older than me. Told me one time, he said, if you got to borrow money to buy it, you really can't afford it. Now you want to stop and think about that for a moment. If you've got to borrow money to buy something, then you really can't afford it. I'm not no huge fan of Dave Ramsey. However, the man makes a few good points. I'm not for putting all your money in the stock market. I have dabbled with it. I've played with it. If you're really good at it and all you do is stare at computers all day and you into that big a thing, then by all means have at it. But I promise you, if you'll invest your money in something you can put your hands on and work and do, take that money and invest it in your own business, and you can make it grow a lot faster than you'll ever see it grow in the stock market. Stock market's for lazy people, okay? That's for people that want to just sit back, do nothing, and watch their money. Now, you've got to be alert and aware and keep up with it, but you don't physically have to do nothing. I'm not against that. It's not for me. I dabbled with it. I pulled all mine out of it. I said, this ain't for me. I watch stuff go up and down. Our stock market ain't doing real good. So, what I have not done is overspent. I got out of high school and started working. I did not go get an education as far as a college education and create a lot of college loan debt. I didn't see where it was going to benefit me because, number one, I had no clue what I was going to do. I landscaped for several years, enjoyed it, loved it. Wasn't no future in it. We couldn't make no money at it, working for somebody else. I was able to get an increase in pay by going to help my brother-in-law. My sister's husband at the time had a diesel mechanic shop, and I went to work for them, and I loved it for a while. After a while, crawling in and out from under trucks, coming home and having to take 45 minutes to get all the grease washed out of your hair was no fun. Oil dry in the back of your hair will give you a bad headache. I said one day, Lord, if I don't never have to put another clutch in a Freightliner, I'll never complain about nothing. I'm sure I've complained since then, but I've worked hard at things over the years, and as I bought things, I paid for them. Now, for the first 10 years of working, I blew a lot of money. I bought extra vehicles, not new, but I'd buy an old junk truck, fix it up, and I'd ride in it, deer hunt in it, whatever. I bought a four-wheeler that I still have. I bought a motorcycle. I wound up trading the motorcycle I gave about $3,500 for a brand new Harley Davidson. Biggest mistake I ever made, but it was probably a blessing in disguise, because a motorcycle I financed $19,600 for. I sat down one night and started calculating what I was going to pay in payments. And when I calculated all them payments up on what I thought was a decent interest rate, I was going to pay back $36,000. And it didn't sit well with this old country boy. I wasn't real great at math, but I said, you know what? I learned then that credit is a man's worst enemy. If you're going to borrow money to buy something, and you're going to have to at some point, nobody can hardly get ahead unless you can borrow money to get started at anything. When you borrow money, it's got to be an absolute necessity, not a toy you want. If it's a toy, save your money up and buy it. If it's a necessity and you can wait and save your money up and buy it, do that. By all means, do that. If it's going to make you money, start you a business, and you've got to have it, then you can borrow money to buy something that is going to make you money, okay? Because it's not money just thrown in the hole. You're getting something back. Now, I borrowed money and bought this buggy, but I had to have this buggy for a lot of the work that we do, to get by, to do a lot of the stuff we do, to film the videos. Of course, I want it to hunt. It's got a lot of perks and benefits as far as playing, but we use it a lot. We use it hauling pottery, because at one time our pottery was over there to shop, and we hauled pottery back and forth to biscuit and stuff. Now we have everything here. We used it on the homestead, raising animals, all the things we do, we needed it. Could we have gotten by without it? Probably so, but I could afford it. I didn't have a lot of bills there again. So I went to buy a double wide trailer one time. We was living in a single wide trailer, and that man, he said $75,000. I was like, man, yeah, I'll buy that. I can handle that. I had the down payment money in my pocket, or check I had written out, had the money to cover it. I had saved up about $10,000, and we were going to be doing well. And I said, well, how much is my payments? I had done talked to several people that had bought a home like this, and they was all $500, $600, $450. One said, I think the other one was $500 and something. I was like, I can pay that. I can swing that. And then when you had insurance, because when you finance something, you have to buy insurance on it. And when he told me my payments was going to be $760 a month, I said, whoa, no, that don't add up with me. I was going to pay for a $75,000 house $110,000 in interest. I said, not going to do it. He said, oh yeah, you're going to do that no matter where you go. You can't do no other way. I come home, and about a week or two later, I was out here driving pegs in the ground, and I started building a house. And I just went at it. I had some experience putting up metal buildings, because I went from the diesel mechanic work that I was doing up here to helping my dad weld in a welding shop. And from there, I did about 4 years, and we were basically working for my uncle, me and my dad both, that owns Pop's Metal Products, and he puts up buildings, and we were welding together metal trusses. I didn't have to drive nowhere, wouldn't cost me nothing to work. I just basically walked to work over if I wanted to over at my dad's shop. And he come up one day and said, I need you to help put up a building, or finish putting up a building. He said, one of the guys quit, the guy that's up there needs some help, Spanish guy. I went and helped him, and long story short, 10 years later, I was still metal roofing nonstop till my body would not take it no more. I had 1 year, I had 1 heat stroke. The next year, I had 2 heat strokes. The following year, I had 4. And I told him, I said, I have got to quit or I'm going to die. I cannot do it no more. My wife was wanting to start pottery. At this point, what I did, I built my own house out here. I had some experience and I built my house. I was through with it. I had some finishing things I need to finish. I still have a master bathroom that I have not finished. I have a functioning bathroom, but the big bathroom, I have not finished it. I need to stop at some point and do that. But we have spent our money when we had extra money into these businesses that we've started. But I borrowed about $8,500 from my uncle and said, let me finish my house. I borrowed the money to wrap it with metal, and I paid that off before I borrowed the 85, I think. And he loaned me the money. I had to finish it, whatever I had to finish in it, buying different things to get it livable. And I worked till I paid that off. And I did not string the payments out of me. And I paid what I had to pay to get that paid off in a year's time. And my house is debt-free. It's debt-free for 2 reasons. Number one, I built it myself. I saved all the money in labor. I paid no labor except for finishing the concrete. The next thing is I did not have to pay a bunch of finance charges. The majority of it, it took me 3 years to build it. I would do part of it and wait, I'd pay for it. I paid for the slab to be put down, which I formed everything up. I did everything I could do. All I did not do was pour the concrete and finish it. Then I put my trusses up. I put the roof on it. I did everything. In fact, I did the trusses and the roof and all before I poured the slab, because with a metal box type building, you can do that. And then I did everything. I built everything. When I got through with it, I don't owe nothing on it, y'all. I have learned over the years, the more that you decide that you can do, and you don't have to pay somebody else to come do, that's money in your pocket. The world don't want you to think that you can do anything. They go, oh, there's building codes, there's this, there's that. That is one thing about move out away from these cities, y'all. These cities are strangling people to death financially. Get out of them. That you'll never get ahead stuck somewhere that they dictate everything you do. People say, oh, it's so far to town and so far away. Who gives a flip? You can buy a lot of gas for the money you can save living out here, living off the land, doing what you can do. And you can make it on 2 or 3 acres. I'm fortunate here to have 14 acres. My dad has adjoining property. I got about 80-something acres I can ramble around on. My neighbor has about, I don't know, 300 or 400 back here that I can cross and kind of get on and do like I want. I mean, I can't just do like I want to on it, but he don't care if I cross it, go fishing, go to the swamp. Be friends with your neighbors. You can do that kind of stuff. Help your neighbors when they need it, but don't overspend. The biggest thing that most people here in this country do is, number one, they got to keep up with the Joneses. Just because your neighbor down the road's got a brand new pickup don't mean you need to go buy one or people's going to think less of you. I'm driving a 2006 Chevrolet truck, and when something goes wrong with it, I can tinker on it. I can't fix everything, but I tell you this, when I take it to the shop, whatever it takes to fix that is a whole lot less than what it is for one of these brand new ones that's got all kind of computers and gadgets and all this stuff on it. Fix your old truck. Take it and have it fixed if you got to, whatever. All these brand new vehicles, y'all, are way overpriced. $70,000 for a new truck? Some of them $100 and something thousand. I ain't doing it. So don't overspend. The next thing is do everything you can do. 2 things that I was going to mention that we do is we living on credit, trying to keep up with the Joneses, keep up with what everybody else is doing, and then people don't think they can do anything. You're being told through social media, through everywhere else, oh, you got to have a degree to do this. You got to have a license to do this, this, and this. I did everything in my house. A lot of it I knew how to do. A lot of it I didn't know how to do. I figured it out. You can buy books on electrical wiring and all this stuff. I hooked up a 3-way switch. That was one of the highlights of building the house. I was like, yes, I got it. You know, they're a little bit tricky. Once you get it in your mind, it really ain't that hard. But I know basic things. Whenever there's something needs doing, in my mind, the first thing I do is, can I make that? Can I fix that? I got this sander right here. It went to acting all wonky earlier, and I tore it apart the other day, and I had a rubber O-ring that was on something, and I put it in this sander. Well, that rubber O-ring didn't hold up. It broke, so I had to put a whole bunch of new ones in there. Well, I ordered these on Amazon for about $6. There was 6 of them in there. Because I went today and looked when we was in Lowe's, we had to buy some boxes. A new one of these is $90-something. I said, you know what? I'm going home to fix mine. I tore it apart. It kept throwing about, well, I figured out. You know, there was a piece in there that was loose. There was another piece that had got turned around, the little idler for that belt. And I got it all fixed and it's working. You can do more than you think you can. Your deal is you got to make your mind up you want to do it. Don't be lazy. Just say, you know what, I may not know how to do it, but I figured it out. You know what? If this didn't work, you can't tear it up no more. Tear it apart, see if you can fix it. What's the worst that can happen? It's that way with everything. I can live the life I want and start these business, start making knives, stop and start pottery because I don't have a whole lot of bills. I hadn't bought a whole bunch of stuff I couldn't afford. This took me, I'm 43 years old, this took me 25 years of working and saving, and I keep what I buy. My old truck, I bought it in 2006, brand new. I'm still driving it. You ain't got to have a new vehicle every 2 or 3. Take somewhat decent care of stuff. Do maintenance on it. My buggy, if I really had had my way and had plenty of money, I'd have done scrapped it and went and bought a brand new one. But I can't because I need to keep that one, and I don't need to throw all that money away. The front end is junk in a Polaris Ranger. But I keep working on it. I keep putting it together because I can buy a few parts and put a day's worth of work in it a whole lot cheaper than I can make payments on another $25,000 buggy. So the more you can do, the further you're ahead financially. And you can do a lot more than you think you can. With the world of YouTube, they ain't nothing that you can't look up and figure out how to fix. Google it. The information is out there on just about everything. Don't buy stuff you can't afford and don't need. You ain't got no business making payments on anything, straining you that you ain't got to have. We'd all love to have more stuff, newer stuff. One of the big secrets in life is learn how to enjoy the things you already have. Most people can't do that. Their only thought of happiness is something they can get tomorrow is gonna make them happy. Stop and look around at what you've got and figure out, well, what I've got make me happy. Can I be happy with the things I have? And I can. I'm going to tell y'all something. There is a lot of joy in coming out here and grinding on these blades. I get up in the morning, I come out here with a cup of coffee, make me some tea, sit around out here and figure out what I want to do and what direction I'm going and what I need to be working on. It's hard to make me quit in the evening. I'll work till, I think I was out here last night till 11 o'clock. I ain't bragging. I'm just saying that I don't mind doing hard work. It's not easy, but I enjoy it. It's not work when you enjoy what you do. And you can do things you enjoy if you won't overspend to the point that you're strangling yourself financially. These are the secrets, y'all, to living a good, peaceful life. If you can fix everything yourself, if you can build everything yourself, Look, you need a new building. I went back here. I ain't hardly got no money in that nice back porch I've got, and I love it. I peeled round pine trees. There's a lot of work in peeling trees, but you know what? It saved me a pile of money. Don't be afraid to do the work yourself. And I realize there's some of you that are disabled, can't do that. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the average person like me, able-bodied, well able to do anything. Just because you have gotten out of shape and not able to no longer do things, you can get back into shape. I promise you can. Most people can. I started gaining some weight. I had to start watching what I was eating. It's called being diligent. It's called doing what you got to do and getting a handle on your life and you being in control and not letting other things control you. Kind of what we talked about Sunday. So anyway, maybe some of this will help some of y'all get out of debt, pay off things. I realize if this stuff strangling you that you don't need, sell that junk, man. Sell it. It ain't you ain't attached to it. I know you like it, but I like my old truck. I can ride. I'm just as happy riding in it. You know what I done? I spray painted it a color. Something I could do. And I actually like it. It was like, man, that's a decent looking old truck. It's unique. It's me. I ain't got to have a brand new one. I would love to have a brand new boat, but it ain't because, hey, I want a new boat. What I want for me and Brody is a big boat that we can film in, bow fish, do a lot of stuff in the future because me and him's going to have a lot of years doing it. But I'm going to wait till the election's over. I'm going to wait till these businesses level out. I've started some new stuff, see what happens, give it time to make some money, save up some money for a good down payment before I go buy anything. Probably sell the Skeeter boat I've got before and make a lot happen. So these kind of things are important to know to help you. And I know I have sat here and rattled on for a while, but I get a lot of people that ask me these questions because people are like, man, I wish I could live the life you do. You can. Now, you can't stop and probably live it tomorrow, but you can start working towards it. Pay off everything. Get out of debt. Focus on that stuff. Pay it off. Stay away from credit cards. Credit is a man's worst enemy, or a woman either. And then do everything you can do. The more things you can do for yourself, the more money that puts in your pocket. So these are my tips for today. This is what is going on. Thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.